Okay, good morning. It's about 30 minutes past sunrise already. No activity this morning. No activity yesterday morning either in this spot. So this is our second day, first time down to our southern Illinois property. Seen a lot of deer already, all in the afternoon and in the evening. Had 2 young bucks and at least 3, maybe 4 does. We lost track of them because they were running all over. I think we're already to the pre-rut, which is great news, because we had a young buck go and chase off a couple of those does. We were able to get one hen really nice and close to us. We were tempted to take a shot because she was all by herself. We decided to go ahead and pass. I don't think we're going to have any trouble filling our doe tag from this location this year. So let's just try to be patient and see what else rolls through. Got mostly younger bucks on camera in this particular spot, but we got some bruisers rolling around this property. And we've got a total of 5 stands, as well as some spots that we can put blinds up if the need arises. So let's just be patient, try to exercise a little bit of caution, and who knows, if the right thing steps out today, maybe we'll get a shot. Alright guys, welcome back to the Hunting Diaries, entry 3 this weekend. We're just walking back from the house right now. It's really warm, and as expected, the morning wasn't so good. Like I said, I had my money on the evening hunt tonight, but we do have one other double stand a little bit farther back, so it's pretty decent wind for our purposes. We figured we'd give that a shot. It's Monday, so everybody's already back to work. So we're out here on our own, and that means we kind of get our pick of the litter. So considering that one's a little bit more open and a little easier to film, so we're gonna make it a little easier on ourselves. And you know, hopefully this time if 5 deer walk by at the same time, we'll be able to get more of them on camera for you guys, because it's a little bit easier the trees are a little bit more spread out over there. At least a little farther away from the tree. So we'll just give you guys a couple little scenic views on the way. Enjoy the ride. We'll check back in a little while. Little scent lure, 20 yards to our left over here. This is a really nice shot placement for me. Yeah. After last night, when we saw those 2 young bucks and the one ran 3 does off, he's only like 2.5 years old. They had no interest in him, and I don't think any of them were in heat yet. But that means the pre-rut is probably starting. So I don't want to get ahead of myself, but probably in the next week or so, we'll start playing with some estrus lures, and I brought out the rattle calls. So we'll see if anything big is walking by and isn't within range, and it doesn't look like he's going to come to us. Now might be a good time to try something like a little bit of rattling, just to garner some interest. So we'll see how it goes. We don't want to take any risks unnecessarily yet, and bust ourselves if it's too early. But if there's something walking by and we want to take a chance, that's usually when I like to do some calling. So we'll see how the day goes.
end of what I'd call a successful weekend. Did you have fun, babe?
Yes.
We get to see a lot of deer, and so this is our first full weekend down at our hunting location in southern Illinois, which is actually kind of late for us. Usually we're down there in the first week or two of hunting season, but Ilse and I got hitched, so we had some other stuff going on. Congratulations to us. But I had a great time. We had we saw a total of six or seven deer over the course of 2 days. We bumped one on our way in that first morning. So we go out Sunday morning. We got down late. Jake and the guys, Deanna, they got down Thursday, and then they hunted Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We didn't get down until Saturday night because we were helping our friends with their barn sale, and so we drove down Saturday night, and that meant we kind of got our pick of our stands. We'd been planning on going to this one stand because we had set it up with our with like the double platform set so we could film. And that first morning there was nothing really going on. We decided to go back there that night. Man, I'm glad we did, because we got to see, there was a young buck that came through like 4:30 in the afternoon, pretty early actually, especially for this time of year. And that got my wheels kind of turning. I'm like, I wonder if they're, those rut predictions are true. Because rut predictions can be like weather. It's like you can't always trust them. You got to kind of take it with a grain of salt and just bring an umbrella anyways. So we sat, and maybe like an hour and a half later, those does come rolling through, and there was at least 3. There might have been 4 of them, but they came. It was like an army. And just as they were entering bow range, another 2.5-year-old buck comes, and they just take off. One of them was like full sprint down the fence line, like 50, 60 yards away from us. We had one more doe come through just right after all that activity. Well, it was maybe 5 minutes later. But she didn't ever really present a shot. We were tempted, but if I had been sitting where Ilse was sitting, I would have had like a wide open, clear angle. But I guess sometimes that's just the way the cards fall. So take what we learned from the first night and apply it to the second night. My favorite part, how about yours, babe, was when we were walking in and we walked past this cane, and there's always deer bedded in there. But a lot of times they go the opposite direction. They'll go out to this agriculture field. So it's like you got your bedroom basically right next to the kitchen. Why would you go anywhere else? So it starts to get kind of late. 5:30 rolls around, and there's not much going on. So I took what I saw the previous night, did a little bit of light work with the rattle bag, nothing crazy. Keep in mind, guys, this time of year, the bucks are not fighting over does because there probably aren't any hot does yet. They're just sparring. They're sizing each other up. They're sort of like, so they'll rub their antlers together. They'll sort of like push and nudge, but they're not going to fight. You do not want to go crazy with any you're calling at this stage in the game. But pre-rut, we've said it before and we'll say it again. Pre-rut is a really, really good time to start using some of those calls. You just don't want to use them before you have any sort of empirical evidence that suggests that that's the stage that you're in the season. So we took a chance. I decided, that we don't really have anything to lose. There's not much going on. And I'm just about 100% certain that there's deer on the other side that are going to want to go out to that ag field. So we did I just did, was it maybe 20, 30 seconds? So call it 25 seconds of just sort of rubbing the antlers together. And I couldn't even put the antlers back in my bag. And I had another 2.5-year-old, small, like tight 6-point buck it looked like. We'll have to review the footage. And he was already within 20, 30 yards. And he stepped right out to my left and stood there for about 5-7 seconds and just kind of looked around like, oh, I thought it was right here. And that was the coolest thing all weekend, So for you, what was your favorite part, babe?
Yeah, when he came off and
same part.
Start like.
And then he rolls around. He kind of, he saunters up right in front of me. If I wanted to take that buck, no problem. But we'll give him at least another 2 years if we can. And then he sort of rubs his antlers on the tree.
I was like, this is mine.
you know, so because we put out, I tried a little bit of buck urine. We always put some kind of, well, almost always put some kind of like doe urine. We're just using the all-season stuff. I haven't broken out the doe and heat lure yet. That's a really quick way to bust yourself. Is if you do that too early before any does are in heat, everybody will be on to you. You probably won't see anything. So we played it safe with the all-season doe pee and then a little bit of buck urine. And I'm thinking we might have to create a scrape over there, see what other bucks we can get to come and check it out. So stay tuned for that next time.